going on, Jerome's? Beautiful Tuesday. Birds are chirping and stuff. It's time for another Vikings news dump. So, first off is a bit of a side, but I feel like everything on this damn channel is an aside. But Rapshi tweeted out that Ravens running back Keaton Mitchell, whose season ended with an ACL tear, was placed on the PUP list to start training camp. Now, Keaton Mitchell is kind of a lot of fun, especially fantasy-wise, for a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, got injured. 2023 UDFA out of East Carolina. But how does this pertain to the Vikings? Well, first off, it just makes you realize how soon camp is. Like, guys are already getting PUP designations. All right, and it's coming up quick for the Vikings, rookies. Hopefully, McCarthy and Turner, they'll sign. They'll be fine. Report on Sunday the 21st. Veterans will be here on Tuesday 23rd. Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday the 27th is the whole welcome back open practice. So we're back, baby. Well, we are indeed back. And hell, Bears rookies report today, because they play in the Hall of Fame game, even though not a single jabroni on that team will be on the Hall of Fame. It's weird how that works. But, yeah, football's very soon going to be back. Also someone who's going to be back. Woo. Smooth transition. TJ Hockinson posting on the gram, him working, getting some things done. So, important to note, looks like doing some cone work, a lot of cutting, a lot of lateral movement, no brace. So that's a pretty positive sign. Also, I love Hockinson out here looking like the logo, of course, but also just looking like a Germanic Gallic warrior, like a warrior king, like he's Vercingetorix, right? Take on the Romans. They lost, but yeah, I mean, yeah. We'll just stick with like a Norse god, like Leif Erikson adjacent / Thor. There you go. Go with that. So Jordan Love allegedly is becoming one of the better quarterbacks in the league after sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple of seasons. Although he didn't look very good when the Vikings played him in Lambeau. Brian Flores seemed to have him in jail. No big deal, but it sort of is what it is. But Harrison Phillips, who frankly is one of the nicest guys in the world, like what Harrison Phillips does in the community, does with his charity, Harrison's Heroes, like everything's fantastic, right? He had some kind words to say about Jordan Love. Purple Persuasion put this together. Quote, the NFL Top 100 is going on right now on NFL Plus. I kind of like that it's on NFL Plus because it's out of sight, out of mind, and maybe people will stop talking about it. Although it's kind of... So it doesn't matter until your guy is ranked too low, and then it matters. Then it is everything. But Harrison Phillips said this about Jordan Love, quote, I don't know if I've seen a player within a season progress that much. He's got the talent. His football IQ is what grew the most for me, end quote. Now, I understand having respect for your fellow competitors, your rivals, your whatever, but I don't know, man. This seems like a little bit too much over the top. Like Harrison, Philly, horrible Harry. You know that you have to chase this jabroni, right? You know that it's your job to put all 305 pounds of you in this man's face. That's all. But again, you can respect the players, respect the game, but I feel like, I don't know, like, this is the thing that bugs fans the most. So, like, Vikings fans don't like Packers fans. Packers fans don't like Vikings fans. Nobody likes the Bears. Definitely no one likes the Lions fans anymore. But what it is, like, we want the players to have the same animosity, except it's clearly not. Like, the NFL is a fraternity. Guys change teams all the time. And you see it after games. Like, it could be a heated contest between bitter rivals, and even if it's a tough, hard slog game, very emotional, midfield, everyone's dapping up, everyone's giving hugs, and it's beautiful, but at the same time, as a fan, you just want it to be like pro wrestling, where, hey, I don't want Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan having beers backstage afterwards. Like, I want them to hate each other and hit each other with chairs. So maybe that's it. But I don't know. Harrison, maybe you could just say, Jordan Love, he's all right. I mean, if Jordan Love keeps working and keeps putting in that grind and does all of the things right, maybe someday, somehow, he can be the next Nick Mullins. Just complete deadpan. It'll probably get on the telecast. There you go. Speaking of which, so reports are coming out that Justin Jefferson is a father. Congratulations. Now, I'm not going to dive into the particulars because it's very TMZ-y and it's hard to confirm what's confirmed but but it's kind of nice because this is now Justin Jefferson's second child, because his first child is Marshawn Lattimore, and also he's not the father, but he's the father who stepped up, because he is the stepfather of Jar Alexander without safety help. Now, Jar with safety help can do some things. Fine. That happens. But Jar has been a rambunctious stepchild, but Justin considers him one of his own. So it's beautiful as the Jefferson family is growing. Also growing is Jordan Addison's Instagram page. So talk quite a bit about Jordan Addison yesterday. You can catch up on that. It's pretty well known. But basically, he removed everything Vikings related from his Instagram account for like 2 seconds. Or basically, it was like the bulk of a day, and then returned everything. So I don't know what message you're trying to send. And like I feel like this is something that players do a lot. And usually it's when they want to be traded or they want a new contract. Now, Addison's not eligible for a new contract, and I doubt he wants to be traded. So who knows? Who knows, man? Like, it's hard to say, like, young men make bad decisions. So I don't know, man. But, hey, our long national nightmare is over. Jordan Addison's Vikings pictures are back on his Instagram. There you go. There you go. Also, so Kyrie Jackson, respect. And also, so we're waiting on two things. Like, we want to hear from the league that proceeds from the Kyrie Jackson jerseys go to the family, because that's the deal too. It's like every player's jersey that gets bought in the official team stores or retail, they get a percentage of that. So it's kind of great. That's why when a player changes their number without giving a year's notice, they have to buy out that inventory, right? But also we want to know if the Vikings are going to pay out his rookie contract. I suspect that the Wolves will. They've been extremely classy and they're first-class organization, all that stuff. So hopefully that's coming up. And also props to everyone who's bought out the Kyrie Jackson jerseys. I think that the team shop is still sold out except for like 4XL. Although I should get a 4XL. Anyways, but Dallas Turner, of course, teammates with Kyrie Jackson, Alabama for 2 seasons. So you can tell he's been taking it pretty tough. And he's put up some great testimonials and some great tributes to Kyrie Jackson recently, putting up a photo of a shirt with the 31 on the back and the skiing emoji, which Kyrie known as Reski. Yeah. And also just a great photo on the right. Yeah. And the funny thing was, he didn't like the look of number 31 at the beginning. Like, he was on social, like, he called it a trash number. But rookies, you just sort of take the number that you get, and then you reassess after 53-man cuts. But then he said the number was growing on him, and it looked really good. I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah. Even though football is going to be back, even though the team's going to be back at TCO, it's still going to be tough for a little while. But also, so with Addison, basically yesterday we said Chris Carter should have a come to Jesus talk with Jordan Addison. Actually, pretty much everyone in Addison's life should. Now, the details of what happened over the weekend, was it marijuana, was it alcohol? Either way, like, you were passed out in a car blocking traffic on an on-ramp in a very busy area, right? So either way, 2 off seasons in a row, putting himself in a bad situation. And I mean, these things can escalate and these things linger. And at a certain point, does the team lose trust in him? Do his teammates lose trust in him? Now, he's a young kid, and young kids make very stupid mistakes. But at a certain point, he's got to get his mind right. Otherwise, reality is going to get right for him. And it could be a spot where all of a sudden he becomes a pariah in the league, and teams, even though he has a ton of talent, they don't take a chance on him. Now, talent will get you several chances, but at a certain point you run out of chances, right? And Addison, I mean, the sky is the limit with him. Like, he could be a top 10 plus receiver in this league, and he and Jefferson can form the best wide receiver duo in the National Football League. So everyone close to Jordan Addison, whether it's Jefferson, whether it's O'Connell, whether it's his dad, whether it's family members, like, everyone needs to get through to Jordan Addison. Like, hey, you can't keep doing this, right? And it's a fair question to wonder if he loves the game or if he loves what the game brings to him, right? The whole, let's get paid, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce, all that stuff. I don't know, man. But, like we talked yesterday, like Chris Carter had an amazing story because he was going down a very dark path with the Eagles, but he got here to Minnesota, turned his life around, became a Hall of Famer, and he's a great example that it's not too late. Like, you can turn things around. Like, you can have grace. You can work to be better. And yeah, I feel like Addison could definitely take a couple lessons from there from someone who was in an even worse way, like Chris Carter was. Yeah. All right, so finishing up on a positive note. So college football 25 is back, baby. So I'm not like a really big video game player. I played like some of the old college football games before they discontinued them. I think the last one I had was probably the final one that had Shoelace Robinson on it. And it was a ton of fun, building up dynasties, building up a school from nada and all of a sudden become a powerhouse. You get transporting some of your players from the college game over to Madden. It's kind of fun, man. But not really my bag, but I love seeing how much joy this brings to everyone. So there's a lot of things like I don't understand, but I respect them. All right, so this would be one of them, like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, stuff like that. Like things that I don't understand personally, but I respect them because they bring joy to a lot of people, and I like that. That makes me feel good. So plus it's kind of funny. So people my age who played the game a ton back in the day are just gonna get their asses kicked by like some teenage video game prodigy. Well, I guess playing video games in your mom's basement isn't as pathetic when you're 12 as opposed to when you're like 42. But you know what I mean. Plus, it's cool. The players are actually in the game as opposed to, hey, you know who's really good? Auburn quarterback number 2. Awesome. Good times, man. But that's it. Your thoughts are thoughts on this beautiful Tuesday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.